Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Michael from Apps Everyday, and it's been a little while, so instead of starting off with just another app, I want to kind of come back and talk about iOS 14. Now, if you don't already know, iOS 14 is currently in developer and public betas. So it's being tested until the new iPhones come out this fall, when it will be available for everyone to update on their iPads and iPhones. And just in case you've missed a lot of the big announcements or haven't seen really much of the features, I'm going to go through my top 5 favorite features currently in the beta. As betas, features can be removed, be added. So in terms of beta 2, this is where we're at. So starting off with the most obvious that you can see on my home screen here is the fact that you can finally add widgets. Yes, if you're an Android user, I know you have the comment already typed out. Just hit send. Yes, you've had it for years. Cool story, bro. Yes, widgets are now coming to iPhone, and for now in the beta, they're rather limited because, of course, third-party apps haven't built them since it's a new feature. But all you do is press and hold anywhere on the home screen. You see this pretty similar ability to rearrange icons and whatnot. But now in the top left-hand corner, you'll see a little plus, and I'll hit that. And now you have your widget library. Again, so far it's only some Apple apps and Apple type widgets. I'm sure not before long, and probably by release time, you'll see a lot of third-party ones here. So stuff from Google, could be Amazon, Spotify, I don't know. Sky's the limit when it comes to this stuff, but for now it's primarily just Apple stuff. You can have one-off widgets. I really like the smart stacks, which is what I have here in the middle, so I'll hit done. And this I can quickly flip through my calendar, my notes, my activity, music, and that's what I have in there. You can add more if you want, but it's really nice just to quickly flip through these. And of course, these are essentially shortcuts to the full app. So if I just tap on here, it's going to load the entire activity app. If I load up my notes, I can tap on this. It's going to open all of my notes up. And then of course, I have a weather widget up here at the top left. It's always good to know what sort of weather you have. I can't wait for third-party ones because I really like the dark sky weather app. And this is, of course, just using the Apple Weather app, which has been updated over time. It's, a much better app than what it used to be, but I still prefer the dark sky one. So hopefully those get added. Next up, we have the app drawer. Again, Android users, type the comment. But now you don't have to have pages and pages and pages of apps where you have to creatively hide folders just to have them, so to speak. Because if you're like me and a power user and you want to have access to hundreds of apps very quickly, but you don't necessarily care to see them in front of your eyeballs all day long. So now you have the app library. So if I swipe once to the right here, you'll see the app library. And again, this is only because I've set it up to where I only have one page. Again, if I press and hold anywhere on here, I can add a whole other page and see all of those, but I only have the main screen. These are my daily used apps, at least currently. So now in my app library, it auto assigns all these different folders. I did not make these folders, and at least as of now, you can't really rearrange them. But essentially looks at some of your most used apps and it makes those big icons. So in the creativity folder here, you can see in the top right's the camera, top left is YouTube Studio, CAD Rage, and then in the bottom right, you see 4 smaller icons. That tells you that there's more in this folder, and if I tap on that section, it's going to bring up the entire folder. Again, these are just kind of auto-generated. It always puts up recently added in the top right. But you can also search. If I just pull down from the middle or tap at the search box up top, it goes alphabetical order for all the apps that you have on your phone, and you can quickly and efficiently open it. Next up is actually technically not a new feature, but a new feature to all phones. If I open up my camera app here, so if I swipe over to video mode, for example, here on the latest iPhone 11s and 11 Pros, you can change the resolution and the frame rate right inside the camera app. But on previous iOS versions, you couldn't do that on this is an XS Max or any other previous phone. And so now in the top right, I can see I'm on 4K 60. I can tap on the frame rate to change that to different options, or I can change the resolution from HD to 4K. Really small addition, but again, for someone who uses the camera all the time, I really like that ability, as well as in the photo modes, you no longer have square as an option to the right here. You essentially have to kind of swipe up from that little bar, and now you have the different aspect ratios, including square. Next up here, we have a setting that's kind of, you gotta go searching for it a little bit. You go into settings, accessibility, whoops, not wallpaper, accessibility, touch, and then all the way at the bottom, back tap. This one has been catching a lot of people's attention because it's pretty interesting. It essentially uses, I don't even know what sensor, maybe the haptic engine or some sort of ability to know a tap on the back. And basically you can see double tap or triple tap. You can set up a bunch of different options. You can even use the shortcuts app to get really creative with this. So a lot of people, for example, are doing like screenshots. So if I do that for double tap, maybe triple tap, maybe I'll go into the app switcher. So now that I have it on anywhere on my phone or anything, if I tap twice, it automatically takes a screenshot. And if I tap 3 times, it opens up the app switcher. Now the really cool thing about this is I've seen people use it on a lot of different cases. So even if you're not like me and have a naked phone, you can easily have your case, still tap the back, and that's a really cool feature. And finally here, messages has been overhauled quite a bit, especially when it comes to group conversations. We know how quickly you can have like sub conversations within a group of people, and it kind of gets out of control. You're trying to answer somebody's question from like 5 messages ago, but then it seems really out of context. So now you can actually tap on a message and hit reply directly to that. So for example, you can see this little thread on the left-hand side. I can see 2 replies. If I tap on it, it kind of removes all the other junk and I can focus in on these couple replies here. Now, if I wanted to reply to something else and wanted to create a whole nother thread, I just press and hold on that. And then the same way you kind of have that little reaction, whatever they're called. Now you see reply, and now it brings it up and I can type my reply here and you're good to go. The other nice little tidbit about messages is you can pin people at the top. So this is very helpful because I put my wife up there. And so now, even if we don't like text for a couple days, like, you know, if we're always together or whatever, the next time she won't be buried down below. I can tap right on her little face there and it brings up the messages. You can have a bunch of people pinned. You can have groups pinned. Really cool. So that is iOS 14 Beta 2 for now. Let me know down in the comments below if you've heard of any features that you want me to check out. If you're new here, welcome to the channel, and I'm so excited to be back.